The way we check them a lot of times, it's just put it in your mouth. If it pops, it's close to ready. If it's soft, then it's got moisture in it.
They're good.
Yeah.
It's still a little soft. So it'll be.
Maybe it's a little.
I don't think it'll be ready
Next week probably.
I mean, I like edamame soybeans.
Right.
They're close to the same thing, just a little different.
That's a little chewy.
They cut those green. Pipsqueak down here actually had some right across from one of my farms.
Is that a different bean?
Yeah, it's a different type bean. It only get about that tall, and they'll cut those green, and when they're still swelled up and green stage, my wife likes them. These are the things these new beans are supposed to have. Well, they got 4 pods, 4 beans in a pod instead of 3. That's the new thing they're trying to breed these beans to. And they say if you find a 5 podder, you get some. They give you some beans free, but I hadn't found one yet. I've looked. I walked those irrigation tracks and looked, and I hadn't found any. But there's several 4 pods on those beans. It's, I don't know, 20, 30 yards the other side of that pivot is the line up through there.
Well, that machine splits these little pods.
What it does, it just takes them in there and it runs them through that rotor, and it just shells them off. Then it walks them through and it walks the trash out, and you got some holes in it, and it walks the beans fall through, and the trash walks out the back.
Isn't that something?
Then they fall down to a pan in the bottom, and then they're augured to an elevator, and it's got some little belts on it with shoes like.
Right.
And chains, and they pull them up and dump them in the bin.
When the pod turns dark like that, the beans quit growing. I guess they don't get any bigger.
No, sir. They just dry down, and they'll get a little smaller in there where you kind of hear them rattling, where they got a little room in there.
I can hear that.
Falling down when they're supposed to be. Claim it when it's hanging down. But some varieties don't do that.
Right. Well, it sure is pretty.
I'm hoping, and I haven't shelled a bit of it yet, but I think we averaged about 182 last year. And I'm hoping we beat that this. You're not supposed to beat it corn behind corn. You're supposed to go down.
Right.
But I'm hoping we do as good.
When you say 182, what does that mean?
182 bushels
per acre. Okay.
Yeah. That's what we averaged last year. But I hadn't shelled any, so I don't know yet.
So next year, what will you put out here?
I wanted wheat over about where the truck is, and all around to the ditch over there, and all back through here I wanted wheat, and probably wheat on that block over there.
We used to smoke it when we were little boys. Roll it up in some newspaper, light that sucker,
Gross.
blow smoke.
There's been a big turtle living in there. I've seen him 2 or 3 times. He's probably that big around. Woo. They usually right up around that cut where the cover comes out, where it stays some.
Stands alone out in the field. We named it Betty. When we're gone.
Meh.
You're used to the ocean, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's a mighty Mississippi. It seems narrower here than down at Memphis.
It may be right through here. It's well, you're right in a bend right there.
See,
And then you go down that way and it bends back again.
see the green channel marker out there, Molly? Like they used to be on the Cumberland River at the lake house.
It amazes me thinking back to the yeah, they had them snoozing with fucking turns. He had to be some pretty stout guy. Or he was like what they were doing to take the canoe across that river. How much they did. That's a strong current. It is. Because I've been in it 2 or 3 times in the boat. Still, it's really concrete. It's just, you just chilling in your home back there in the boat. So to take the canoe across there, you got to be just a good guy.
Here comes the barge way. See the barge way up there? Stuff just floating down.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff empties into this river. Something splashed out there. This is the Herman Reed home.
Going home, you might want to thumb through some of this, and I'll be happy to tell you what I can about them. But anyway, I just brought a whole bunch of things.
And this is Jason's home.
Don't know what yet.
Back down here, where's the stuff that you got? Well, they didn't think they were going to go.